Um, Laura, we're going into a match now where you've got a former player of prominence that left the club last year, so there's familiarity. There's a former player that you coached for some time as their head coach. When you go into matches like this where there's so much familiarity, is that just common because of the nature of professional football, or is that something that's kind of unique to the situation where there's so much of it in one match?
Unfortunately, it's not very often that I get to coach against a female head coach. So, no, that's not very common. I wish it was. Um, but yeah, it's always nice to see old friends and old colleagues, and obviously Bev and Boats had massive impact on this club when they were here. And yeah, it'll be great to see them.
The other part is for this particular match, though, you'll be back at home. You got a chance to kind of control your own fate. What is it that you're looking to get from this particular match from performance? Is it maintaining the defensive structure? Is it getting an early goal? What are the sorts of things that you're looking for from this particular match that you're hoping for?
I'll always take an early goal, but definitely I think making it as hard as possible for them. They're a good team. They're in good form. They make it really challenging for the opponent in multiple ways. So being prepared for that and how we can sort of stopper that and then be able to put our stamp onto the game.
And then this is also a Veronica Butsky celebration. We have an opportunity to kind of reflect on what she's meant to the club. What did she bring in her time here?
Yeah, I think Ronnie epitomises like blue collar, work hard, good things will happen type mentality. I think she lived and breathed that every day. And then I think this year's been like obviously a unique year for her, and I'm sure when she was thinking about this being her last professional soccer season, this was not what the script was written like. But I do think that it's opened up doors, and we've seen Ronnie in a different light because we've had to, right? She's not been on the field with us too much. We actually got her in a passing pattern on match day -3. It's the first one she's done with us all season. She got to pick it, and so that was quite a cool moment. But I think, I hope she's remembered for our club for the hard work she put in, and then the goal she scored in critical times for us. The 2023 playoff run. She was the hero, and deserved that. So I think that those are the big things. But I think we've, as a group, and Ronnie as an individual, I think this year's been really special for her. Within the group of players and staff, because she's had to play a different role. On really connecting on a bit of a deeper level, I think. And I hope that she can take that away with her as much as she can take all the goals and all the other crazy stuff that happens when you're in this line of work. But I said this before to someone, the thing I love the most is when she came to the club, we had a lot of V's and Z's and these and that as names. And Sam Leahy actually gave her the name of Ronnie, and she hated every second of it when we gave it to her. But now she embraces it enough to sign it off as her Instagram post when she's saying goodbye. So I feel like our job is finally done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. We'll take Susie and then Kazim.
I have one not as serious question for you first on this topic. In her goodbye post, Veronica referenced a bet and you having to jump in a pool as a result of her goal. Mm-hmm. What was the specific bet?
If we beat San Diego in the semi-final, I would dive in the pool at the hotel. Nice. And I did fully clothed in the same game day outfit that I then wore in the final.
Thank you. You already talked a little bit about the threats that Louisville possesses, and also talked after last game about kind of getting back to the basics. And obviously with their press, it's going to be really important to be able to build at the back. And just what kind of focus has the team had on that, or what are you really looking for in that sense on Sunday?
Yeah, we've been talking about it a lot. We're going to do more work on it today of just like deciding whether you're going to play through it, you're going to play over it, or you're going to play around it. There's 3 options you can do to get past a team that presses like that. And I think that's something that we continue to work on every week. So it's not new. You just know against this team that they're going to come and they're going to come fast. So how you can skip it, how you can get beyond it, is you can do it in multiple ways, but being able to see what is on is a big part of it. So that's been the big focus.
Thanks, Susie. Any follow-up or go to Kazim?
Hey, Coach. So the last game was obviously in May. Lots changed since then, but they managed 20 shots in that game. You shut them out. They win the XG battle. You shut them out. What can you kind of take away from a game that was so long ago, but you guys really had, a decent defensive performance and considering, the disparity in opportunities?
Yeah, don't get me started on XG, Qasim. So it doesn't mean anything. What does it mean? Nothing. What matters is the score. I think that game was very unique. It was really windy at Louisville that day. We actually had the game moved because there was a potential tornado the night before and the wind was still around the next day. So first half to second half, it was like a completely different game. First half we did well, we scored, we created other opportunities, we could have scored more. They started to get themselves in the game a little bit, and then in the second half we were just in our own half for the majority of the second half. And we found it challenging to get out, but I think that was a really important game for us on being really solid and hard to beat. That was a really good example of when we could do that, and we did it. And there's been games before that and games since that where we haven't done that, and it's caused us, it's hurt us, So I think we know that we have to be like that tomorrow. We have to expect pressure. We have to expect they're very dominant on set pieces. They're very dominant aerially in different areas. They can hurt you with pace, and they can hurt you between the lines. So you've got to be prepared for it all.
Right. And in terms of, this being kind of a match at the bottom of the playoff picture right now, how do you kind of deal with, there's 7 games to go, but every game is kind of starting to take on a playoff atmosphere. How do you kind of deal with that, or is it kind of just taking it one game at a time?
Yeah, we need 34 points, and if you can get them by winning the next 2 games and getting a draw, you're in. I think Gotham last night's a great example. Gotham were 6th, joint points with us, went to 3rd overnight. If we can win tomorrow, we'll go to 4th potentially overnight. That's how tight it is, right? But the reality is only so many people can get to a certain amount of points. And what our aim is get to that 34, 35 mark. Once you get there, can you push beyond that to finish higher up in the playoffs? So that's definitely the aim. So yeah, every game as it comes, no game's as important as tomorrow. But knowing that whatever happens, you're still in it no matter what. I think that's also really important, that the process is what's really important. And if you believe in that process and you trust in it, then you'll get there in the end. And we definitely believe that way.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Kazim. Last question from Susie.
Yeah, I was just wondering, some of the players that have been in rehabbing and recovering, what's the status of players like Lynn and Ryan and Shay?
Yeah, Lynn's not ready. Lynn won't be ready for a while. And Ryan's close, really close, and Shay's back.
Good morning, Emeri.
Hi, good morning.
I wanted to just start, obviously Veronica Latsko shared the news about her retirement from professional soccer at the end of the season, and you've gotten a chance to get to know her quite well and play with her, and what has her time with the Reign meant to you?
Yeah, I think obviously last year it was my first year, and having such an amazing team, like off the field, really helped me a lot. Veronica's one of the best people you'll ever meet. She has the most personality ever, and she's really, really going to be missed.
And then I wanted to ask about the game tomorrow. Racing Louisville is a team that likes to put a lot of pressure on opponents. I'm wondering, just as an attacker who has to think about both offensive defense, what are some of the things that you're going to be really thinking about to counter a lot of what Louisville does?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously a very aggressive team, and we've talked about that, and I think we just have to play our game, get the ball off your foot quick, but find other teammates, and I think we can find the ball in behind a lot, and we can really get a good attack on them.
Perfect. Thanks, Susie. Kazim?
Hey, so in terms of kind of the playoff feel of the last couple of games, how are you guys dealing with that? Obviously, 3 through I think 8 is just completely bunched up. Do you guys kind of just take it a game at a time? Coach said, just get to 34 points. What's kind of your mentality on the field when you're in a game with another team vying for a playoff spot?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know that the table's been very kind to us so far, and we want to keep pushing, but it's all about every single moment in the game, every single first and second ball, fighting for everything and getting those points. So we're really, really fighting for those points.
And then in terms of offensively against this team, they had 20 shots, you guys had 4 last time around, and you guys made the most of your opportunities, obviously. Is that kind of the same feel in this game? Do you guys feel like you'll have less opportunities than them, and it's more about making the most of that?
I don't know if that's our game plan, but I think we're going to try to get as many chances as possible and put them away, as always, and also stop them. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a good game.
Thanks.
Thank you. Jeff?
Emery, you did say last year was your first year. You're now coming up on almost 2 full seasons as a pro. What parts of your game do you think have really developed that fans can look at, especially given that you're in a playoff push? Like, these are important games. What are you bringing to the table that the fans can look for?
Yeah, I think it being my second year, I feel a lot more trust with the team, and I feel like they can trust me in big moments. So I think I've gotten better at my finishing and just putting away the goals and also just having fun out there. And I think our team is really great this year, and we all gel on the field a lot, so I think it's going to be a great little push.